cable tie on here. And then you've got like, and it's covered as well. It's even better in bad weather. More protection. It looks brilliant. Oh, it's gross, isn't it?
In the history of Second Life bikes, I don't think I've made a video about a bike I've just built this quickly after releasing the video. It is Tuesday right now when I'm filming this, which means the video's been up for 2 days, and it's been the fastest growing video on the channel so far, and there's been lots and lots and lots and lots of people pointing out a couple of things. So I figured I'd address it in the video instead of replying the same thing to lots of comments about the same thing that I did wrong. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's probably because you haven't seen this week's video yet. I'll link it above. It's probably there, I think. I got it right that time. But it was a Specialized Crossroads that I built. It was essentially a town bike commuter type build, all parts bin parts apart from the wheels that I had to actually purchase for the build. Most of you really like it, but a lot of people had a couple of issues with a couple of things, and they were issues that I was expecting. But a quick reminder, this is the bike.
You my baby, you know it, right? Yeah, I just remember what you said to me. I'm your man, babe, I'm your man. You know I try to give you everything I can. I'm the one to make you come and get it, girl. I'll be gentle with you, protect you from the world. You know I got it for you. Check in my bank account. Women love to talk to me, but my blank face says
But before we go into the issues and how we're going to fix them and rectify them, I wanted to talk a little bit about the wheels. I think I mentioned in the video itself the fact that they arrive with decals. I'll put the videos on the screen now, around the actual rim itself, and I find it really hard picking up wheels for the project. I think a lot of kind of cheaper wheels don't look that good, and they can sometimes take away from the actual build itself. When you go a little bit more premium, the decals are small or none at all, and it kind of makes it a little more sleeker looking. So one of the things I wanted to share, and I was going to do a whole vlog talking about this sort of stuff, but I was like so hyper focused on this build that I didn't actually film anything that day apart from a little intro and a little outro. So I'm not doing that now. So I just thought I'd share the wheel thing whilst I was making this video. But with all these types of wheels, near enough, they always have that decal on the rim itself is super easy to peel off. In this circumstance it was. You sometimes need to put a little bit of heat on there. With this one I literally just picked it with my finger a little bit, pulled it off, and it then transformed the wheels. When I actually ordered them online, I got them on eBay for like 30 quid I think posted, which is pretty damn good. I bought them because I needed some 700cc wheels. I didn't like them in the slightest, but I got lucky, pulled the decals off, and now I think they look really good. Now let's talk about the things that we're really here to talk about, the things that I did wrong, and admittedly I feel that only one of them I did wrong, but let's get to that. First thing that I definitely did wrong was the chain. The main reason I wanted to bring this part was the fact that I was blown away by people spotting it. I was there and I didn't realise I had done it. If you don't know what I'm on about and you haven't seen this comment, or you didn't notice yourself, like me, it's this. The chain is currently threaded underneath that little plastic bit, and it should be going over the top. Simple as that. Is that affecting anything? It's going to wear it out, basically. It makes a little bit of noise. Although, if you listen very carefully, it doesn't seem to be really making any extra noise. I think it's potentially just a chain on the rest of the stuff, but it still needs to be moved on the outside. I actually took the chain on and off several times. I do wonder if I ever got it on there correctly, but I wasn't happy with the length on it. I was going to cut it, then I wasn't going to cut it, and then I don't. There's lots of stuff I leave out my videos because they'd be insanely long of me just faffing around with a chain. No one wants to see that much information about a chain, but that needs to be rectified. That's it. Next one, and the main one, is the brakes, and my bodge was one of them, and then the levers were the other one. So the quick one is the levers, whatever you want to say. They're for canties. I did know that. I'll be honest, I wasn't 100% sure. I'm pretty sure I know which bike it comes from, and I'm certain it had canties, but they certainly looked like they were for canties. So I just put them on the bike anyway, just because I had a bunch of different levers, and I thought I'd try them out, see what they were like, and they work really well. They don't work as well on the back, but I believe that's something to do with the routing, which we'll get to in a minute. But they've been sat in my drawer for a very, very long time. I have a lot of nice canty levers that I use when I use canties, and then these kind of sat right in the middle of I basically didn't use them, so I thought I'd try them out. I think I'm probably going to change them though, because I actually quite like them, it turns out. I've ridden this bike round Stayers car park a few times, and they just feel really nice. As far as canty levers go, they are really, really nice. So I'm thinking about taking them off. I have some cheaper V-brake levers that I might put on there instead, but I haven't quite decided yet. But I did know. I just checking stuff on the bike, you know. But the main thing I wanted to discuss, and the thing that I've had the most comments about, was the routing. And I was surprised how many people liked it, and I was even more surprised how many people have done it. If you don't know what I'm on about here, essentially it is the actual cable in itself or the routing on the bike is for cantilevers. The front cable stop, you can go from the lever itself into the cable stop on the frame, and then it would be open to the back, where it then goes through this little metal noodle down straight into the cantilever brakes. Because I want to put V brakes on this bike, and just what I've decided to do, and I really wanted to make it work. I've essentially bodged it together with essentially another cable on there. Does it work? Yes, it works absolutely fine. Is it ugly? Yes, pretty much. Now, I wasn't going to change it, and I'm not changing it now because of peer pressure, but the reason I am going to change it is because I've had lots of people send me some good ideas that I kind of like to try out. Apart from the fact that I wanted to make another video talking about these things, I did want to make this video to kind of get a few more ideas out of you. So if you haven't come up with an idea yet, I want to hear about them, because later this week I'm going to have another go at this bike, or finish it is the way I'm looking at it, and there's a couple of tweaks that I'm going to do in it. I do want to add a rack and a basket, but I am going to change the routing on the cables. I'm going to do one of two things. I'm either going to use one of the many different bodges and hacks that I've been sent to make the routing work, or I'm going to change the cantilevers, and that is what I'm going to leave up to you guys. I'm only going to give it you 24 hours essentially, and I'm going to go through the comments. So comment below basically which one you think I should be doing. Switch to cantilevers, front and rear that is, or do one of the many bodges that I've been sent. The bodges consist of, I'll put some photos on the screen now. You get these little kind of cable stops that you attach to the frame, or like some people mainly had issues with the zip ties, and you can use little clips that you put on the frame itself and attach the cable to. One of my favorites, and one of the ones that I really do want to try, is actually using a cable stop that has the normal cable, cable end, that has a slightly narrower bit attached to it as well, which would then go in the cantilever metal bit that comes round the seat post. What was the other ones off the top of my head? Lots of people wanted me to just drill a hole straight through it. I didn't want to do that, and I don't think I would do that. The fact that I'm putting V-brakes on this bike, or I currently have V-brakes on there, but I also don't want to just change this bike forever. If I sell it to someone and they decide they want to restore it back to its original way, then it's okay to do that. I know I do some disc tab modifications on my frames and stuff. I do that generally on worse frames, or frames that I'm going to keep forever, mainly. But yes, I think that's all the ones I can remember off the top of my head. But if you have a hack or a bodge that you'd like me to try, I want to hear about them. Pop them down below, and we'll have a go at them this week. So the last thing I wanted to say, there was a comment from CMZ Pictures. I'm going to put it on the display now, and they mentioned the fact that they're starting to realise that the bikes they thought were rubbish before, the hybrids type deals, are actually quite cool, and they can become something quite cool. And I think that has always been the kind of the thing that I really wanted to do on this channel, but over the years, especially in more recent years of doing this, I've got a bigger circle of friends and connections now, and I'm able to get much cooler frames. Saying that, I've got a handful of bikes that I've been wanting to kind of build forever, and I finally have picked up the frames, so they'll be happening soon. So, you know, there's going to be some big bikes. The point I'm making though is the fact that I want to do a challenge at some point this year where you find the most uncool bike. And I'm not going to say like, oh, get a dad bike challenge, because it needs to be some sort of hybrid that is just ugly and it's the worst thing in the world, and essentially try and make it the coolest thing possible. And I suppose it's kind of on the same page as this Crossroads. It was a hybrid. That was what it was. It was an early hybrid, so it's kind of cool now, but it was a hybrid. And essentially what I've done, in my own opinion, is made it look even cooler. So it's just something to think about. Hybrid off, a hybrid challenge, something like that. On the note of challenges though, for everybody who keeps asking, the cheap bike build off is coming back. Where are we? January. It'll be in the next week or so. There'll be some announcements. If you don't know what I'm about, last year Max, the mullet mechanic, put on a challenge where he challenged everybody to build the cheapest bike possible. I think the budget was like £100, £120, something like that. And it's coming back. He's actually messaged earlier on today saying that he's just ironing out some of the rules, because he's going to change a few things to make it a little bit more fun and a little bit more fairer, and we'll be announcing it soon. So start looking for those cheap frames, bikes, whatever. There will be the cheapest of cheap bike build-offs coming soon. It's basically the same thing as the hybrid thing I've just been talking about, isn't it really? It's time to finish this video. Shout out to all the new subscribers from the Specialized video. Specialized videos always do really well on the channel because everybody really loves them. I have a couple of frames that will be coming soon, which I think you'll love even more. So bear that in mind for future videos. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, now is definitely the right time to do it. It's this button here, and it helps me out so much. It's absolutely free, and I make videos every single week, or some weeks multiple videos. And if you cannot wait for the next one, I do suggest you watch that one there. It's a particularly good one.
Looks brilliant. Oh, it's gross, isn't it?